PUBG Mobile Club Open is the most prestigious tournament in the game, which crowns two champions in a year. One during the spring split and the other one in the fall split. Teams compete from all around the world just to get into this tournament, which itself is a tall task. PMCO takes place in two stages, the prelims and then the main event. But to even get to these, teams have to qualify via the regional qualifiers. The following regions have been identified before the fall split: North America, South America, Middle East and North Africa, which is together called as MENA, South Asia, China, Southeast Asia, Europe, Japan, South Korea, and the wildcards, a total of 10. The top team, or in some cases the top two teams in these qualifiers, qualify directly to the main event, while the other high-placing teams have to play in the prelims. The allocation of slots in both the main event and the prelims varies from region to region. In July, the spring split concluded with China's top esports emerging victorious as they took home a whopping $180,000. And on top of that, they got their own commemoration inside the game itself, which is like the ultimate honor for a PUBG Mobile player. Two other Chinese teams, X-Quest Force and Elite Esports, also finished in the top 3. While the spring finals took place in Berlin, the fall championship will conclude at the Putra World Trade Center in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. PUBG Mobile is the most popular title when it comes to esports in South Asia, and it comes as no surprise that the region has 2 spots at the main event and 3 more in the prelims. However, unlike spring, the region is no more India exclusive but encompasses the entire South Asia region. Last time, Team Seoul represented India at the main event, while Team IND and Indian Tigers, who are now called as Orange Rock, played in the prelims. While there were some notable moments, none of the teams really managed to get any results to write home about. This time around, the South Asia qualifier of the PMCO Fall Split kicks off in New Delhi next week at the KD Jadhav Indoor Stadium from the 6th to the 10th of November. The qualifiers were divided into group stages, the semi-finals, and then the grand final. The group stage saw 32 teams divided into 4 groups, battle it out over 5 days, with the top 24 teams moving on to the semi-final stage. Now, come 6th November, the semi-finals will kick off in New Delhi, where these 24 teams will compete on LAN to determine which 16 of them will move on to the final phase of the tournament. And after the grand finals, the top 2 teams will represent South Asia in the main event, and the next 3 teams will play in the prelims, flying down to Kuala Lumpur. So, what can we expect from the PMCO South Asia qualifiers? Let's see. High-octane action? Obviously. Team rivalries? Check. Roster drama? Check. Players switching teams and then having bad blood with each other to such an extent that their interpersonal relationships are ruined, that leads to sweet and spicy masala that we lap up gladly, and we hold them up to such unreasonable standards and don't offer empathy towards their personal emotions just to focus on the drama instead? So, let's take a look at some of the favorites that will be competing in the semi-finals. Right off the bat, we see Orange Rock Esports, who topped the group stages. This is the same team that represented the country internationally during the spring split under the banner of Indian Tigers. They were then picked up by an organization called Orange Rock with some roster changes. Since then, they've had some impressive performances, not just as a team, but individually as players as well. Not only did they finish 40 points above the next best team, the top 5 people with the highest number of kills in the tournament includes 3 of the Orange Rock Esports players, Sandhu, Mavi, and Existence. The team had 4 chicken dinner victories, which obviously made them the leaders, not just in terms of victories, but they were also leading in terms of kills as well. So going by the current form and results, it's safe to assume that Orange Rock are the clear favorites coming into this tournament. However, at the recently concluded PMIT finals, the favorites Orange Rock fell victim to pressure, as despite taking the lead on day 1, they fell flat on day 2, eventually finishing in 2nd place. This time around, Orange Rock will have to keep their nerves in check and try to go all the way using their aggressive, no-holds-barred playstyle to their advantage. Up next is Team Mega X. They came in second in the group stages with 2 chicken dinners and a truckload of kill points. 89 kills! Now that's a lot of damage. Their star player Snax is believed by many to be one of the most mechanically gifted players in the country. Paradox had 31 kills throughout the group stage. That puts him in run for the player with the highest number of kills. Mega X were also spectacular with the rotations, always picking the right fight at the right time. And that's why they have been so consistent in getting all these points and securing the second position. The truth is, this team deserves a lot of spotlight. It truly does. But unfortunately, the only team that's been hogging all the spotlight is the one name that you've probably already heard of: Fnatic. The international esports giant sent waves across the globe when it entered India. Fnatic is one of the most easily recognizable esports organizations in the world, with rosters across various games such as CSGO, Dota, League of Legends, Rainbow Six, Apex Legends, Fortnite, and now PUBG Mobile as well. Either way, Team X-Pac, or simply known as Team X, is now Fnatic. One could say that this is one of the most experienced teams in the country. The lineup consists of Scout OP, who has represented the country in multiple international tournaments, most recently at the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge 2019 under the Team IND banner. Ronak and Owace were members of the legendary Team Soul, who captured all our hearts by putting up a decent performance in the PMCO Spring Global Finals last time. 3 out of the 4 players have already seen what the competition looks like at the highest stage. This makes them the most experienced team at the tournament. But with experience and Fnatic's valuable resources come limitless expectations. People are expecting them to get to the global finals right away. With the whole country's eyes on them, anything less than a prelim spot will be considered a disappointment. Speaking of Ronak and Owace, let's talk about their previous team. The ones that are currently the hottest and most popular. Team Soul. Soul Mortal is probably one of the most popular PUBG Mobile streamers in the country with 3 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. This makes Soul a fan favorite. Crowds of people gather to see that guy whenever he shows up at a gaming event or tournament. His team did wonders and won the hearts of the entire country with the performance last season in the PMCO Grand Final. They even won a chicken dinner in front of the world's strongest teams. However, there was a considerable drop in the firepower of Team Soul after his previous teammates left. Even in the group stages, we saw that Soul finished 10th. Now, we must keep in mind that PUBG is a game where you can't win all the time. There's a lot of RNG, there's a lot of luck. But however, they have picked up a new name in the form of Clutch God. And he's one of the hottest players on the scene at the moment, and he was the MVP of PMIT. What is to be noted, however, is that there's bound to be some fireworks with Soul and Fnatic in the same server, as the two squads have somewhat of a history. The rivalry has had its highs and lows, but PMCO will decide which team walks away with the spoils. Another really popular team is 8-Bit. This organization is one of the most popular ones in India when it comes to mobile gaming, and they already have players from multiple mobile esports titles such as Clash Royale and Brawl Stars. While 8-Bit may not be looking as sharp as Fnatic or Orange Rock, they're still ahead of the curve, and they can very well be a strong contender for the prelim spot. Entity Gaming is one of the oldest esports organizations in the country. They have rosters for CSGO and Dota 2, and at the end of 2018, they picked up the PUBG Mobile roster as well. Ghatak, which literally translates to lethal in Hindi, is pretty damn lethal when he drops in Pachinki. His team is known for their fearless, no-respect playstyle, but they also have the brains and strategy to back themselves up. He's also a pretty popular player on the circuit with many fans. Plus, on top of that, Neo and Jonathan are considered to be 2 of the best assaulters in the country. We have seen them make some incredible flanks, bait setups, and trade frags. Global Esports too are in the fray. They are one of the newest esports organizations in the country that have successfully found investors. They've tied up with Synergy to pick up rosters from mobile esports titles. Now they have 2 strong rosters competing in the PMCO South Asia qualifiers. One is Synergy and the other is Synergy Retribution. The Retribution roster even managed to clinch a chicken dinner and finish 7th on the score table. Last but not the least, we have Salty Squad. And this is the only non-Indian team to finish in the top 10. Hailing from Nepal, Salty Squad sent shivers down everyone's spines when they started racking up kills. Relentless aggression is the name of the game for this team, and they will be carrying the hopes of their countries on their backs. So, they are the top teams that are expected to put up a great fight in the upcoming PUBG Mobile Club Open South Asia Finals. PUBG Mobile is a game of skill, but there's a little bit of luck involved as well. To get into the grand finals, all they need to do is get into the top 16. So it's likely that a lot of these teams will be hiding their best strategies for later. It's going to be an exciting week with some hot drops and some high-octane PUBG action. I hope you guys are ready. We're a fairly new channel and we are trying to grow. So if there's any particular topic that you want us to cover, please let us know in the comments below. Also, we've heard that hashtags are really useful on YouTube. We've been thinking of something like hashtag AFK Army, AFK Monkeys, or hashtag AFK Squad, and stuff like that. Let us know what you think is the best one, and we will give you a shout out in our next video. Like the video if you enjoyed watching it, and consider subscribing so that we can always keep you updated with the latest development in esports. Which teams will rise to the challenge when it matters, and who will face the heat when the pressure hits? Let us know who you're supporting in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.